Welcome back to the Bear Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. We talk about football. Normally this time each week we'll have a coach's show with Coach Damon Floyd, but since we're not playing this week, we're going to do things a little bit different, but a very, very special show here. So we're going to talk with a couple of Bradley football players. One, a former player who played back in the day when I was at the old school up on North Coy Street, and also one is on our current unbeaten #1 ranked team in 6A football. Of course, that is Boo Carter. Guys, welcome to the show today. Glad to have y'all here. And we're going to talk about football, as we always do. Boo's a senior here. He's been with us this year. Jimmy played a couple days ago back in the 60s when I was in school and all at the old school up on the Coy Street there. Talk about record-setting performances because we had one happen Friday night. Boo on a punt return. We're going to show the clip of that and let him talk you through it here in just a moment. But Jim had held the record for 58 years prior to Boo breaking your record. So we're going to get you talking us through that. But first, let's go ahead and watch a replay of that clip from last Friday night when Boo had a 94-yard return on this punt. And we're going to show it to you in full speed and then in slow motion. So here it is in full speed. You don't hear any audio here. It's Boo retracing steps, and here he goes. Just look at the players that tried to attack him and missed. This is courtesy of Channel 12, by the way. Boo, you look like you slowed down there at the end. Nobody's chasing you, were they?
Nah, I mean, that was the time for me to celebrate with my team.
And here we go in slow motion. Now walk us through this. What was you thinking here? You seen the ball going, and then it bounces up.
Yeah, it was a perfect bounce. I mean, when you get a perfect bounce like that over the head and into your hands, I mean, it's goal. I mean, it's get money time. So I caught it and I got to the end zone.
Was the play designed to go to the right side with the wall of blockers that way?
Yes, sir. So the kicker kicked it to the left side of the field, to their sideline. So
Yeah.
we know every time they punt it, they're going to kick it to their sideline. So we go to the opposite side and we create a wall.
Well, there's Ben Collins, Jackson Wilson,
And
Tito Williams.
And D-Ball. I mean, the whole team blocked. They did their assignment.
Yeah, they were all there.
Yes, sir. So that's how that
Pretty
happened.
remarkable run, and the official was listed at 94 yards. I think he took about the 6-yard line, backed up to near the 1. So he ran 99 yards to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and basically, and Evan Swartzel's a great kicker for them. He's left-footed. He can boom that ball. He did against us. To me, it looked like he just out-kicked his coverage.
Yeah.
And the players to defend hadn't got down there in time.
Right.
And then I kept waiting to see if the ball's going to roll dead right there, which would be inside the 10, or if it's going to go into the end zone or what. But so the high bounce was what?
It's money. I mean,
Grab it and go.
It's just money. You get that high bounce. I mean, it's just right there in your hands.
It's money, huh?
It's money.
Is that the longest run you've had in a football game, 94
Yes, sir.
yards?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
I know you've had a lot like that.
I also had a 91-yardage with my sophomore year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but it wasn't a return. It was I was in the backfield, so I was at running back, and I just got it and ran. Yes, sir.
91 yards. Okay. Well, maybe you can pick another one up like that here from us, you know. And let's talk about rushing now. At Tennessee, you're being recruited as a defensive back, but we were talking earlier today. What position will they allow you to play at Tennessee? What would they want you to try out for?
So basically, I got recruited as an athlete, but the coach that recruited me was a DB coach, so Coach Martinez, Coach William Martinez.
Coach Martinez.
Yes, sir, Coach Nez. So I'll be on the defensive side. That's my primary position. But I don't play offense sometimes, and I don't play kick return, punt return. So I'm doing a lot that I'm doing here now.
They've got it figured out then, have they, Jim?
I think so, yeah.
In your days of watching, did we have anybody, I mean, you got the 85-yard, we'll talk about that in a moment. Anybody come to mind like Boo, his speed and the moves and all that? And
Well,
who would be the closest guy? Will
well,
or someone? Or?
I guess growing up as a 9 or 10-year-old, I started going to the Bradley games in the late 50s when they had Billy Frank Smith was coaching.
Good
there.
coach.
And the names that come to light that I remember as a 7th or 8th grader going to Bradley was those 59-60 teams. Probably the 59 Bradley team was, I would say, they're saying probably the best football team that Bradley ever fielded.
I would agree.
And on that team, they had two very, very good tailbacks. William Centers was a sophomore on that 59 team, and Ernie Droke was also another one. And they basically, I think, I don't know that they hold the record now, but I think one of them in one game had like a 94-yard touchdown run. The other one had a 92-yarder. So those were the first players I remember. And then, of course, later you had guys like, Andy Ballinger. And my senior year, William Centers' younger brother, Gifford, was a freshman on our team. And he actually, he started on our team in 65. So, yeah, there's been, but as far as pure, I guess, talent, I'd have to say I've never seen anyone that has, we played Alcoa, I guess, my junior year, and the closest thing to bowl, I guess, that I've seen was Albert Davis.
Oh, yeah, Albert Davis.
In that ball game. We played Alcoa in 64, and I'd say comparison, that's probably the only comparison I could think of with both.
That 59 team you mentioned is regarded by many as the best team we've ever had. With Louis Offers on that team among us. Sloan was like a freshman, I guess, at that time.
He was a
sophomore.
Yeah, he was a sophomore.
Yeah.
It was his first year, and Louis Offord was playing quarterback some at that time. They moved him to fullback when Steve was a sophomore. So
good move.
That was probably, and I don't think they actually won the state championship that year. I think maybe Team Sport or someone was awarded the number
61
one.
is when we got it.
Yeah.
61, and that we went 9-1, lost in our last game of the year there.
Right. Yes.
In that 20-6 game when Sloan was quarterback, and Bob Johnson was in that group too.
Correct. Yeah.
Bob, I interviewed Bob in the football book I wrote, and Bob said you can blame that loss on me. They had a fullback I could not block. I mean, and not a fullback, but a defender he couldn't block. He's in on the offensive line. He said I couldn't block him. Here's some pictures of you days gone by with this is Jimmy with Coach Red Hensley, and there he is in the dressing room. Looks like you guys have been through it. There's the team picture. A lot of those guys familiar to a lot of folks around here. You look like a young kid there, Jim.
I weighed about 150 pounds.
150 if you were. Look at this big guy here, actually.
Yeah,
Though.
he's a little bigger than me. Well, no wonder I was trying to outrun him.
Talk to us about your punt returns, 85-yard. You said there's something quirky about that against Red Bank.
On Mondays, on the following Mondays, on the team we normally play that week, we'll usually get a film or a scouting report on them. So on the Monday, after the previous game, we basically go over that. And at the time, Coach Louis Offord was his first year back from Middle Tennessee. He played on that 60 team, and he had gone to Middle Tennessee and played. Mm-hmm. And that was his first year in the coaching, and he was our defensive back coach. And we were playing in the report for Red Bank. They had a tendency to, they had an excellent running back, probably one of the best running backs in the Chattanooga area that year. But they also had a tendency to quick tick. And when they quick tick, their tailback would normally kind of move over a yard and maybe back up a couple feet or something. So
that was the tail.
The tailback, yes. So they would turn and pitch to him, but he would kind of position himself for the back. So we picked up on that. So in a ball game, when he got into that position, we had a code that, Coach Offer said, here's what we're going to do. If they set up into this position, we passed the word back, and as they lined up and got in position for the play, and about the time they started calling the play, I started backing up. And started backing up, and they were probably at midfield, and the kick, I think primarily was low, and it pretty well went right straight, it came right straight to me. So I think it was a situation that they were probably surprised. And so I kind of had it come about. Yeah, it was a quick kick situation that we had picked up on, so we kind of, we were ready for it, and that's kind of how it happened.
Well, Boo, when you're on defense, I was talking to someone yesterday, I don't know if it's Coach Floyd or who, but you're in the middle there with Tito, and you got Marcus back there, and you got Mason back there, and D-ball. And you guys have some hand signals that we're talking about that when you see, because you've only been here the 1 year, he said some of the guys that have been here the whole year recognize the hand signals from the bench real quick, and will flip and do things differently based on what they see on the offensive set. Is that what you guys look for in a game to key on a defensive play? Because our defense right now, is almost immovable. We had less than 200 yards against Walker Valley, just over 200 against Maryville, and I don't recall a year in recent years when we've had a defense this strong. Is that you got 5 guys back there across the back, man? It's an incredible defense, I guess. But what kind of keys are you looking at? You guys back there talking to each other, because you have to talk a lot too, you know.
Yeah, facts. So basically, to win a game, you got to win on defense. I mean, you can score. We got a lot of skills on offense. We can score. Lineman block, they do their job every time. But defense, we got to keep communicating. We can't stop communicating. That's how we win our games. So basically, I just watch. We got keys to watch on the defensive side. So I watch my key, and then that's when I echo it to my other safeties and corners, so they can read the keys too, so we can all be on the same page. So we do that. I mean, I just know when they line up, I got to see my key before everybody else do, so I can get everybody else in correct place. So I do that.
This is one of the fastest teams we've had on defense, and Coach Floyd, he doesn't typically have the big burly linemen on the line or linebackers. You know, they're sort of small, but he says it's okay, it's quick, it's reaction, and very strong.
Yeah, we quick, strong.
And you got a young freshman, Zane McIntosh, having a well of a year, isn't he?
He's a dog.
Yeah, he is. That's what Coach Floyd calls it. And Tito Williams, can't brag on him enough, and Braxton Arthur, and all these guys back there.
I mean, we working. I mean, Coach Floyd got something special. I mean, he making us work hard in practice. We got an off week. We still working. We practicing every day. We practice on Sundays. We come in on Sundays, watch film, practice. I mean, we just get it in. Coach want to win. We want to win. We just want to get better.
Coach Benfield on the defensive coach came in. Is he taking over most of the defensive chores from Damon? Because Damon said he'd probably work with him to start with and let him, because he liked the defenses he ran at Cleveland High School, and obviously something's working out real well there.
Coach got a great defense. I mean, Coach D. Floyd really don't have to coach the defense. I mean, but when Coach D. Floyd do, I mean, he do his job. I mean, but Coach Benefield, yeah, he's great at defense. He been leading us to get stops off and on the field. Even when second team come on, like our JV players, like they can tackle quick. They get their job. They do their assignment. He's just a great coach.
Well, like you said, defense is what wins championships, wins games, you know, and you have to keep that in mind there. Are you in touch with UT right now a lot in regard to things that they keep up with you, send you messages, or are they telling you some things they'd like you to look at or do in preparation? Because you're going to graduate early and go to Tennessee in the Christmas break, which means you'll get to practice with a bowl team, but not get to play in the bowl game, of course, because you're not on the team officially, I guess, at that point. But are they in touch with you a lot about anything at all while you're in the season now, or they just leave you alone for the time being? Or?
Oh, no, I communicate with the coaches like every day. If it's not Coach Hike, it's the coach that offered me. If it's not the coach that offered me, it's somebody in the school. You feel me? Like I contacted them every day.
Was Willie Martinez the guy that was your main recruiter with somebody else, or?
Yeah, it's Coach Martinez and Coach Banks, Coach Tim. Yeah, Coach Banks. Them two was my main factor. That was the main factor that recruited me. That was my first offer, and so I'm very thankful for them.
And I saw when you committed on the social internet stuff that you were then recruiting other guys to come to Tennessee. So,
yes, sir.
And you're friends with some of these guys too, aren't you? I mean, I know you and Marcus were good friends, and Caleb Martin is a good friend of yours too, and all that. Or is a good friend. But is that something that you just want to do on your own? Because I know you need a good supporting cast to be there and all that. So.
I mean, I just want to bring the dogs with me. I mean, I know I got some dogs in me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know some more dogs out here, and I see. I mean, as a recruiter, as a player, I watch other recruiters. I mean, I can watch their highlights. I can watch film. I mean, I can see what other people are doing as well. I mean, if you're good and you play like me, like you're on the type of level I'm on, I mean, I want you to come to the same school as me. I want to recruit you if you're a dog. You feel?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be fun with Marcus Goree there too.
Yes, sir. That's what I got.
Will y'all be roommates? Will you know anything about that yet?
Most likely.
Most likely roommates?
Yeah, most likely. It's like, because when we go up there, it's like, so defense, like the DBs, the defensive back got their own little dorm, and it's like 4 or 5 rooms in there. And so it's like 4 or 5 DBs that stay in the dorm. So, yeah, so I hope.
That's good to keep you together like that, because you can talk strategy.
Yeah,
you know,
watch
all the
film,
time.
all that. So.
Jim, I think it's going to be a great success there. I think it'll be a great success there.
Oh yeah, no question, no question. I think you'll have a great future there. And Tennessee is, last 3 years, they're a different team, aren't they? I guess you were like in the maybe 8th grade. They were a lot different than they are today as a senior, that you're stepping into a fine program.
Yes, sir.
And we showed the earlier clip of him returning the punt. We've also got another clip that we're going to show you now. So take a look at this. This is his clip of the, I guess we'd call this a pass and catch and run against Maryville. And this is filmed earlier at, 2-3 games ago. Here's Boo with Caleb Martin, quarterback. Jackson Wilson there's his tailback or running back. Here's a pitch out in the flat. And here's Boo. Now watch this, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, look at this. And then just coast in. Look at that. Slowing down there again.
I mean, you got cruise control, cruising the end zone.
You knew that was going to the house too, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I got to.
And see, that's listed 61 yards, but you're on the left sideline. You run all the way across the field, so you run about 90 yards probably in total there.
Facts. I mean, it was great blocking from my teammates. I mean, we just trying to win and get the job done.
Well, there's some key blocks, but boy, there's a lot of that there once you got past our blockers that you had your own moves. You know, is that just a God-given talent you've got? I mean, you can't practice that and get that to happen. I'm sure it's just God-given talent you've got.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, you can train for it. I mean, I trained my whole life. I mean, I've been training since I started training when I was 9, so I mean, I've been training my whole life, really, so yeah.
Wow. Well, we've enjoyed having you here, and we've got a lot more football to come. We've only played 4 games. We've not been ranked number 1 since the 62 season when we were actually ranked. Now, we were number 1 in 76. We won the undefeated state championship there, but we were not even ranked higher than 4th going into the playoffs here, and we saw the Bears win at 13-0 season that year. And the game of the year, a lot of people, you and I will recall it, and Boo wouldn't know about it, a triple overtime 50-48 win over Jackson Central Merritt Middle Tennessee State on Thanksgiving Day. My mother never forgave me for going to a ball game on Thanksgiving Day, you know, but some great memories. And Jim, I know you guys have some great memories with the players through the years. And see, we've seen all this. We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And Jim and I can sit down and talk for hours on end with other guys our age and talk about things we've seen and things that have happened in a positive way and sometimes not so positive way because we weren't very good some years, just to be honest about it. But it's been great talking about the old days and all that. Any final thoughts, Jim, before we hang it up? Wind it up here?
No, it's, I'm just proud to say that I witnessed that, and I know you're going to have a lot more of plays just like that, and even when you get off to college, and so I was proud to be here and proud to see what you did, and hope you guys go all the way this year.
Thanks.
One more question, Boo. This is your off week. We're filming this in the middle of your off week. When will you start preparing game planning for Heritage Georgia? Not Heritage Tennessee, but Heritage Georgia. Will that be coming up next week, earlier?
So what's today, Wednesday?
Yes.
Tomorrow. So we'll be preparing for them tomorrow, actually. So
And they're off this week, so you can't go scout them live either. So
yeah, so we'll be preparing for them early tomorrow. They probably game plan for us Monday. We game plan Thursday on the off week.
all right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. Jim Clark, Boo Carter. Appreciate both of you guys taking time to be here today. One of those very special shows. We don't get to do very many of these, but we appreciate this. Appreciate Mr. Gwen Shroyer back here in the production room in Studio H12 here at Bradley Central for all their great work they do here. And they'll present these programs available to you on Twitter, on Bear Network, and on Facebook as well. Until next time, we'll say so long for now. God bless and go Bears!